Okay. So you meet at work, you start dating, but you had two rounds of dating. so, so tell me about round one and what led to the end of round one.
Round one was traditional dating. Like it was a lot of going out, eating out, going to bars, hanging out. And about 2 or 3 months in, we decided that we should take a trip. And at the time, we were working for a hotel company. So we had miles that we could use, we had employee rate that we could use. So taking a trip wasn't this huge financial commitment as much as it was a logistical one. So we decided, like, let's just do this. Let's just go somewhere for 10 days, like having not known each other for very long. And so we take this trip. It's incredible. The entire time that we're there, we're just deciding that, we'll split things kind of 50-50. You put your card down here, I'll put mine here. I'll put the rooms on my name, and the next time you put them on yours. It was very like 50-50. We get back from the trip, and I'm the kind of person who kind of needs a vacation after my vacation. Like, I don't do transitions very well. And so after the trip, I'm like, all right, we're back. Like, let's go out to eat. Let's go on another date. And he's like,
Absolutely not. He was like, we
he's
just
like,
spent a month worth of surplus in 10 days. I'm going to the grocery store.
yeah, I didn't interpret it that way. I was like, what happened? Like, did I fart or something? Like, what happened during this vacation that has you so different now? I did not even think for a second it was financial related. And so I'm pushing and I'm pushing, I'm pushing. And finally, one day he's just like, how do you have so much money to like still be going out after what we just did? And I was like, credit cards, duh. Like, what do you mean? Like, I know I don't have money. I'm waiting on the paycheck like you, but I have a credit card. And he was like, yeah, but you just used your credit card. And I was like, yeah, and like I just was not in the habit of paying off my credit cards every month. And I certainly wasn't in the habit of in months where there is a surplus, you calm everything else down so that you can throw more money at it. That was foreign to me for the most part. I knew that intellectually that's what you were supposed to do, but I had not thought about the cost of not doing that. And so finally, we have a conversation about debt. He's very clear, like, tell me more about this credit card habit. And I'm just talking like I'm talking to you. Like, oh, yeah, you just swipe, swipe, swipe. And if this one runs out, I use this one. And if this one runs out, I use this one. And he's like, if I had known you had so much credit card debt, I never would have dated you. Boom. This is our very first financial conversation ever. He says this. And I'm pissed. I am very, very upset. I didn't understand what it meant at the time. I was just very embarrassed that, I had just come back from this trip with somebody and this is what he would say. Like, this is the reason why he would not date me. And so that led to a breakup. Our very first financial conversation turned into a financial argument that turned into a breakup. And that is what ended round one of the dating.
So let me explain, right?
Before you explain, I gotta say, man, when I read that in the book, that's what you said, I was like, oof. I was like, yo, there has got to be a better way to phrase it. So go ahead.
But here's the thing, right? And I always make a point, like obviously that was incredibly harsh, right? Like looking back, that's incredibly harsh. I should not have said what I said, the way I said it, or when I said it. So I apologize for that. I'm the one that came crawling back when I realized that I was wrong. But I do think that there's value in like going through that process and saying where did that anger and frustration come from. And again, a lot of it comes back to how I grew up. Like money was not something that you wasted. If you wasted money, it says something about their character. Like that's how tight it was. And so I could not envision being with someone who did not have the same level of respect for money that I did. Secondly, as much as I liked her, I did not feel like I could afford to delay or throw away all of the plans that I had for myself. So while she was wanting to party, I was thinking, yeah, but I still want to stay on track because going back to what we said before, there's still an opportunity to get property deeply undervalue. It's only 2012, and you may not get another chance to do this again, right? And so we had gotten this job, we had significant surplus. I felt like, we're not going to continue this barrage of dating at such a high level forever. There has to be periods of time where we think a little differently. We can still enjoy ourselves, but we got to think a little differently about what we want in life. But I didn't share a lot of those things in detail with her, or the timeline, or the sense of urgency that I had. Like, I was working a plan while also trying to work this plan. And I didn't share the details of my financial plans with her at all. And so when we rebounded from the argument, got back together, that's when I pulled out, like, to answer your earlier question, like, one of the things that I did, and I had spreadsheets for days. Like, I could tell you what I'd spent on my electric bill for the last 2, 3 years, like, in detail. Like, I took great pride. It was data entry, it was rudimentary, but I knew it all. I had a very clear understanding of those things and how I had paid down certain debt, because I was practicing what I had just learned in graduate school. And I was using that understanding to start a wealth building journey for myself and whoever I ended up with. And so here we were at this interesting juncture where we were both earning significant amounts of money, but she wanted to spend it very differently than I wanted to spend it. I wanted to spend it in a way that accelerated my path to riches, and she wanted to go ahead and keep the party going. And we had to have that conversation and learn more about each other. Why do you feel so passionately about it? Why do you feel so passionately about it? And through those conversations, one, we learned a lot about ourselves. We learned a lot about the potential that we had as a couple. But more importantly, we realized that a lot of couples were not having these kinds of in-depth conversations at this point in our dating career. Like, we were having long-term wealth building plans 4 months in after meeting, right? Most people, even if they get married, they don't really have those conversations until they're trying to make those big financial decisions, which is usually having a kid and or buying a house. And it's not a conversation that happens before either of those things. It's like, all right, now that we're pregnant, or
Right.
now that I see something that I want to buy, put it all on the table. And so we saw that as really, really interesting. And from that moment on, we just started having as many of these kinds of conversations with people as possible. And we learned a lot in the process.